Over the past decade, Illinois added 100 people to food stamps for every job it created. One think tank is now calling out state lawmakers for what it calls bad policies that are to blame.
In tonight's special Waste Watch report, what some say the state needs to do to boost jobs rather than welfare, and a look at proposals to drug test for public aid.
How are you doing today?
1 in 6 Illinoisans rely on food stamps, accessed by a link card and paid for with taxpayer dollars. Right now, almost 2 million people in the land of Lincoln are enrolled in the Federal Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or SNAP. That's almost double the number who relied on government assistance 10 years ago.
There's very blatant abuse in the welfare system right now.
Since Illinois' historic income tax hike in 2011, Illinois added more people to food stamps than jobs. According to the Illinois Policy Institute, Illinois has added nearly 200,000 people to its food stamp rolls, while adding 186,000 payroll jobs since the 2011 tax hike. Christina Rasmussen, vice president of the Illinois Policy Institute, says our state's politicians are to blame for Illinois having the third highest unemployment rate in the nation.
We've tried higher taxes. We've tried more government spending and regulation. It's not working. The jobs are fleeing. If we want to make Illinois a place that's booming, where people can get a job instead of enrolling on food stamps, you need to make doing business here more attractive.
Todd Meisch with the Illinois Chamber of Commerce agrees. He points to 2 tasks state lawmakers need to do to encourage business growth.
The state has to clean up its fiscal mess. It just creates an atmosphere of mistrust that the government's going to throw something else at the employer community in order to, in a vain attempt to try to help their finances. The second thing they've got to do is come up with some real clarity on taxation.
1/3 of the state's budget goes to welfare, according to Representative Adam Brown. He says that's one reason he's sponsoring legislation to drug test people who get public aid. The bill was filed in 2011 and hasn't made it out of a committee for a vote.
I think it's common sense to say that it shouldn't go to folks that can't pass a drug test in our society. When we're drug tested to pay in, I think you should be drug tested to receive.
Why is it that poor people have to be tested? That's discrimination. Your livelihood and your children, your family is dependent upon that.
According to the National Conference of State Legislatures, 10 states have passed legislation regarding drug testing or screening for people applying for public assistance.
I think there's a sense that if you just make everybody jump through the drug test hoop, somehow you have better, purer programs, and I think the reality is you're wrong. Because it doesn't turn out to give you any value for having made all those people jump through all those hoops. Your money would be better spent some other way.
Senator Kyle McCarter helped craft a separate comprehensive welfare reform bill. It was never even assigned to a committee to review.
The more serious we take the fraud issue, the more resources we have to shift to people really in need.
Laws regarding drug testing public aid applicants have been reviewed by federal courts. Florida's law was halted by a federal judge. According to the National Conference of State Legislatures, in December, the court said the law violated constitutional protections against unreasonable searches.